Hey everyone, it's Coley. I'm going to do something a little bit interesting today. I'm going to show you not only some of the rituals that I partake in, but if you're still having some difficulty getting messages, or if you'd like to start getting into some tarot decks and stuff like that, I'm going to teach you that today. As you can see here, this is my little spirit corner. I've got my lighting, of course, my trinkets, smudging, my Widow Buddha. Today's a really nice sunny day, so I actually have my crystals sunbathing, but I'm actually going to take this one because this one's necessary for today. Alrighty, so where I'm going to start today is smudging, of course, because you always want, when you're starting some new energies, you always want to start with some smudging. I've got some nice little music going to help calm me down and do whatever I need to do. So I've got my candle lit. It's my crown chakra candle. It's my favorite. Believe it or not, I got this from Dollar Tree. I need to do one of those videos. That'd be fun. A lot of people are doing the Dollar Tree hacks. So, a little bit more. And of course, like I've said in the past, I use the Palo Santo. Clearing me out. Got some decks here that it doesn't necessarily have to touch anything. Just clearing out the space. And I always feel that once the Palo Santo stops smoking, as you can see, it's still doing a little bit of a smoke, getting that negative juju out of here. You'll see it's done smoking, so that's when I can continue. There's that again. Today what I'm going to do is I've actually typed my daughter's tarot deck. She's 12, about to be 13, and she's actually started on her own spiritual journey, and I'm extremely proud of her. She's not necessarily going the same... The cats have laid up here, and this is ridiculous. She hasn't exactly gone the same route that I'm going, but sadly they were for the same reasons. Our awakenings kind of were very perpendicular. She's got this great little tote that her Nana made her, my mom. It's nice little cute leather. In it she keeps her crystals, her pendulum, which I was really proud to find that one, and then her deck. Now this is going to be a deck that you see commonly, especially in beginners kits, because this is a really good deck. Now, I'm not in any way, shape, or form a professional tarot reader. I can read tarot. I don't typically read tarot, just because I tend to get more information off of people's energies and the spirits that come around. Sorry about that. I have opened my door right now for certain energies to come through. Probably wasn't the best, but since I'm still practicing and developing, one of the questions I keep getting is, why am I not professionally taking clients and stuff like that when it comes to my mediumship? Well, because I'm still developing. I'm finding that I have a lot of judgment fear that I need to work on, so that would be absolutely silly to put onto someone else. So I'm not doing that yet. But what I do is I do read for people. If I don't charge for any of this stuff, obviously, yet. I do plan on, of course, making a career in the spiritual field. But what I do is I do tarots. I'll do energy readings for people. Right now I am a practicing guiding mentor. I'm really good at finding people's strengths and figuring out what their gifts are and helping them develop that. Which is highly ironic because I'm still in the process of developing my own. But that is one of the things that helps me, is helping others develop their own gifts. Again, that's my sole purpose, is guiding. So let's get into this tarot deck. First off, don't read the book. Just don't do it. It really is pointless, because when you have a deck that you've tapped your energy into it, you've tapped out everybody else's intentions, and it's your deck. The book is just more of a guide. Like if you stumble, the first thing that you're going to want to do when you get a deck, and it's my personal belief, and it doesn't have to be yours, you can buy your own deck. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be given to you. There's those old tales and, you know, rituals, I guess is what you could call them. It is what they are. People have rituals, and that's fine. I respect those rituals. But for somebody starting out, it's not necessary to have a ritual until you develop one of your own, and your own beliefs. So kind of stick to that. Learn something and then modify it to be your own. So the reason I'm starting with this deck is because let me show you this one. Like the very first one, let me show you the irony here. So we're talking about starting anew, spiritual journeys and stuff like that. So the first card that I have here is the Ace of Cups. Well, the Ace of Cups signifies obviously new beginnings, usually typically signifies new spiritual beginnings and stuff like that. Even down here it says security and a healing hand. I can't even see if you can see that, but what I like about this deck is it gives you just a generic meaning, and that helps a lot, so that you don't look to the book. You can. I'm going to recommend you don't. So when you very first get your deck, the thing you're going to want to do first, obviously tap out any energies that have been in there. And I know that sounds weird, but it'll make you feel better. Tap it out. One thing, I have a friend that she even does a sign of the cross, and she taps out the energies. So you have your deck. You're going to want to go through every single card. You're going to want to look at this card, get to know the card. Okay, Ace of Cups. It makes me feel grounded. It makes me feel secure. Next, you're going to want to go to the next card. The next card, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Young men to 25 years old. Visitors, messages to share. I can't make this stuff up. I have not done anything to this deck. I literally just took it out of the sleeve and I'm showing it to you. I have not shuffled. I've not done anything. So it's fun and it's ironic to me. But there's the Knight of Pentacles. So the automatic message that I'm getting is he's there for you. He's there to give you a message. And it could be, pentacles typically mean values of something, for me personally in my decks. So that's something that I see. And then literally just keep going on. All right, now I have the Knight of Cups. What's different about this card, obviously other than the cup, is notice the horse. I don't even know if you can, if I'm showing you right. Notice his leg is up. So what does that say to you? For me, it sounds like it's ready. And what's funny is if you read here, young man to 25 years, needing more confidence. Okay, so again, decks for me mean something different. Your deck should be what you think it is. So it's basically just studying the picture and determining what it makes you feel. The Page of Cups. He's a happy guy. He's a really happy guy. Young woman. See? It's a woman. Young woman to 25 years. Basic good news. See? That's good. I think this one's totally cute because it's even got a fish in the cup. That's fun. So, literally just going through your deck. Now, I recommend, again, this deck because of what it has on the bottom. It gives you generic little things. So, when you're learning new spreads, my favorite spread is shuffling, asking for clarification of paths or whatever questions you have, and then doing a simple 3-card pull. What that means is literally pulling 3 cards. The first card is usually going to represent your past, middle is your present, and of course the third is going to be your future. And if you decide you want clarifications on those, what you would typically do is lay your 3 cards down, and then you're going to pull 2 more cards. And then they're going to be laid touching your future and present. Your second card is going to be laid touching your present and future. Now, what those are clarifying cards to show you how you're getting to the next step or how you have gotten to the next step. And it gives you a lot of insight. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not sure why you're doing past spreads. Because really, your past is important. Your past defines your today, and your today defines your tomorrow. And that's something that you always want to pay attention to. You want to pay attention to the things that tie things together, the things that didn't have meaning, but when they're connected with something else have a lot of meaning. And those are the things that you want to connect with. Those are the things that you want to pay attention to, specifically in tarot. Keep in mind, guys, this is a tool. This is not set in stone. It can always change, and it usually does. And here's why. Because if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, would you avoid dying? Yeah, I would. I've still got a lot to do on this earth. I've got kids that I've got to ruin. So, knowing and pulling and seeing will change things. Doesn't always, but typically it can and it will. Now, with that being said, keep in mind that this is a tool. These cards literally hold no power. Well, where are you getting that power? You're getting that power from yourself. And you get that power from spirit and your guides. They're the ones that help you and guide you. If you're not listening to anything else around you, but you've got a deck of cards in your hand, and you're going to start throwing cards, they're going to make sure that the card that they need you to pay attention to is going to come out. Because they're trying to get your attention. And that's what tarot is. So there's many different forms of tarot. Obviously, this is a pretty standard deck. I really like it. I'm very happy for my daughter to have this one. It works for her. It talks to her, and she's really doing a great job with it. I can't get these in here. I'm just gonna put it to the side. I have a couple different decks. One of my, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get that out. Is it working? Is it coming? No emails. I say no. I really need to start learning how to edit my videos so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me struggle over things. Maybe I'll have my daughter put, you know what? you don't need to see this deck apparently. All it is just a plain run-of-the-mill deck. What I want to show you is, there's my pendulum. I love this pendulum. My mom made it for me years and years ago. I think I was my daughter's age. But it's got a key. And it's kind of ironic because one of the messages I always get is follow the key, use the key. So this is the deck that I use. I love it because it's got the crosses. Can you even see that? Yep, it's got the crosses and the hearts and the stars. And I think these are paintbrushes. As far as I'm concerned, they are. It shows me creativity. So in this deck, I'm seeing spirit, I'm seeing love, guidance, and creativity. And that's something that you need to pay attention to, especially when you're finding your decks. And I say decks because you should and can have many. What I really like about this one is the artwork. Let me find a good one. Let's do the Princess of Wands. One thing about my deck that's not typical in every single deck is I have Princess. So as you can see here, it's the Princess of Wands. The artwork. The artwork to me is very pretty and it says a lot to me. Like, you notice the butterflies? That's transformation. Okay? And you see, focus. You see the feather. There's just so much to that. There's so many elements. And it really helps paint a clear picture. Because even when a card means something, of course, when you put it together with a second card, okay, paying attention to the fact that you've got these two cards, she's facing away from him, but you see how he is kind of facing her. So I'm not saying in these specific, but things like that I typically look at. Maybe he's looking for guidance. Maybe, bear with me, when cards are looking at other cards, depending on what that card represents for you, maybe it's you, somebody else, maybe it's a passion, maybe it's, there's so much to it. There's so much to the interpretation that's why it's really important for you to really get to know your decks. And like I said, this one for me particular is really good. I really like this one. Like, look at that. Look at the High Priestess. Is this, look at that. Look at how much wisdom and knowledge. You know, and I look at this card and I see that she's veiled, but I show it by choice. You know, and then you have the owl and you have a crescent moon up there and she's being led by a griffin. A lot of symbolic, a lot of symbolism. Wow, words are hard in this card, and it makes me happy. Another one that I have in my deck that's different is I have hearts. Now, I personally prefer the hearts because the hearts are automatic. You know exactly what a heart is. You know if a heart is happy or you know if it's upset. Obviously in this one, this card typically means love and marriage. Not like what the Lover's card means. The Lover's card actually has so many different meanings and it doesn't typically always mean love. Just gonna put that out there. But I love this. It's got, if you take a look up there, it's got the angels kissing, you got the hearts, and then you have the two pretty swans. Is there anything else in here that I want to show you? Nope. I mean, for me, it's one of those decks that really shows you the meaning. And alone, they mean one thing. Paired with other cards, they mean 100 different things. So that's really crazy about it. Now I'm going to take you to my personal favorite. I personally love Oracle decks. Now what I have here is the Spirit Animal Oracle. I love this one. This one makes me extremely happy. For one, the art is beautiful. Let's pull this out. On Oracle decks, I don't always recommend reading the book, but on Oracle decks, I always recommend looking at the book, because the artist has an intention in these, and they do in all decks, but it is about learning your tarot deck. Oracle decks, yes, are the same, but they're very different. And I do recommend at least looking, because something that you might not see on the card will be in here. Like, okay, the giraffe, because the contrary's on here, it asks you questions, things to think about, and I think that's really important. Your choice. So, these are the backs of the card. I think it's absolutely stunning. And if you've been paying attention to me at all, you know that I love animals. So this is the perfect little deck for me. So the first one that we have here that I'm going to show, this is the snow leopard. See that right there? And it says snow leopard, self-reliance. You are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. That's just pretty. That's just pretty. So, going back to the book, let's take a gander, because I know that I missed something in all this. Silence, focus, self-reliance, solitude, stealth, shaman, intuitive, integrity, independence, power, and grace. And as far as I'm concerned, based on my love and knowledge of animals, that is exactly what I see there. Now, are you experiencing emotional turmoil from a lack of solitude? Maybe. Have you become unbalanced from the busyness and noise of daily life? Probably. Are you following your intuition? Not as much as I should. Make time for yourself. It's pretty powerful stuff right there. So, we have the butterfly, the dragon, which I love the dragon, so pretty. The wolf, penguin, oh, the bison. I love this card. The bee, I get that a lot. Horse, dolphin. I love the dolphin because this card always reminds me to play. And that's exactly what it says. It says play. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom. Go with the flow. Well, that's exactly what I needed to hear. So, I hope this video wasn't entirely too long. I just wanted to do not really a huge how-to, because really the best thing that you can do, get a deck, pick it up, and use it. Practice. That's the biggest thing. Grab you a notebook and practice. Throw out a spread, something, start with something small, something you already know. Write down what the cards show you and see how accurate you are. I bet you anything on your first couple of times, it's kind of going to make you a little bit uncomfortable because of how accurate it's going to be. Don't stop there. If this is something that you want to work with, don't stop. Keep going. I highly recommend it. I literally write in my journal every single day. I started this journal a couple of weeks, well, it's been longer than that. I am finally to the halfway point of my journal. Oh, I passed the halfway point. Look at me go. So I've said it, and I'll say it again. Write. That is going to be your biggest tool. It's going to be the best way for you to move forward, to learn, and to remember things. I forget everything. That's for serious. So I highly recommend to just do that. Write. And keep writing. Ground yourself and keep going. Do not lose focus. And don't lose faith in yourself. Not necessarily faith in anything else. If anything, have faith in yourself. Be happy. Be proud of who you're becoming. And take it one step at a time. This is a bumpy process. And, you know, all those memes of the waking up memes, reality versus, or like what you think it's going to be versus the reality. It's really hard, you know, and it's scary. There's a lot of things that you have to work on. People call it shadow work. I call it fear work. So it's definitely connecting with yourself, and by yourself I mean your higher self, your guides, and really getting in tune with your own heart, aligning your chakras, aligning who you are, really, and this is a big one, is learning to tune out the negativity, the low vibes. You're gonna find out how far you go by putting that veil of protection, and I just got goosebumps when I did that, because it's so strong. Put that veil to block off the drama, to block off the low vibes. You know, people come to me all the time. I'm sensitive, so people naturally like, come here, I need to talk to you and tell you about my problems. And I'm fine with that. I'm here for people, and I want to make people feel better. But in the process, I don't want them taking me from here to here with them. So I have to put on that shield. I really do, because when they're telling me their problems or they're complaining about somebody, because that's I complain, and I have to remind myself daily not to complain about someone or badmouth someone to someone else, you know. And it seems like, well, you're just getting stuff off your chest. In reality, I'm doing it to hurt the other person, and it's taken me a long time to come to terms with that and to realize that's what I was doing, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not unloading that off my chest, because if I was, I would go do a shower ritual. I'd scrub off all that negativity, and I'd pray for him. It's that simple. I'm not going to cast a spell or anything, but I definitely pray for him, even if it's somebody that I don't like. Because by all rights, I have no right to dislike them. I can not enjoy their company, and that's perfectly fine. You know, people can do some bad things. It's just learning to put up that veil and not allow it to affect your inner peace. And that has nothing to do with like depression or anything like that. This is just a simple cut and dry thing. Low vibes, negativity, what's that word? Talking behind somebody's back. I can't think of the word. Kids? What's the word? Gossip. Gossip! Thank you! Yeah, my kids are knocking at the door. Come in! The life of a low-functioning YouTube video person. Anyways, gossip. Just bounce it off, okay? Bounce it off of you. You don't need that shit in your life. Literally. And I'm not sitting here downing the people that come to me and need to talk about things. Cool. But that's where it needs to stop, is right there. I don't need to suck in that energy, because that's caca. that's something that you don't want to carry around with you. Like, on point, period. I love Shanetta. She's a cutie. So, take that lesson and run with that one. Just no negativity. And even your own. If you start to feel in yourself, start to come down and get negative, that's when you really need a journal the most, because that's when you're going to learn so much about yourself. Embrace your down times. Embrace your low vibes, not somebody else's. Those are two totally different things. Like, those are very different. Embrace your low vibes during your awakening and during your spiritual journey, because those are never going to end. Embrace those, because those are going to teach you something new about yourself. Those are going to teach you something new about your soul and new about your journey. They are pieces of you that you need to work on. They're pieces of you that need to show you and teach you something. You've already decided all the things that you're going to throw at yourself before you came down here. So you can handle it. I promise you can. You made the conscious choice of, okay, here I am, I'm building my little life down on earth, and I'm going to add a little pinch of this, little pinch of this. Oh, I'm going to be pissed about this one. Let's add some more. You did it. You did it. Here's why. You made this decision to come down here. For one, learn as much as you can. 2, teach as much as you can. And 3, love as hard as you can. It's that simple. So next on the agenda, I've got obviously a couple more videos lined up, because as anybody's paying attention to me knows that this is going really, really fast. I did not expect this amount of flow. It's been a lot of work. And I have been obviously working on my Instagram along with Cheyenne. I can't wait to get her on here, get her a video uploaded. Definitely doing a video together. I've got a couple kiddos. My daughter, for one, her best friend, we're definitely going to do a video together to talk about adolescent awakening, because it's a thing. It's a huge thing, and there's not a lot of information out there about adolescent waking, except for this new trend that I'm seeing is called baby witch. Cool, I'm all for that. I'm not a witch. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. That's just not my identification. I identify as a Christian, shaman, Buddhist, witch, pagan, Wiccan, you name it. Like I've said in other videos, I'm an umbrella. I'm a spiritualist. I believe it in all. I don't believe in labeling or unifications, but other people feel it necessary. They feel the ritual. They feel that a need to call them something is important. So I'm fine with that. So if any of this, of course, resonates with you, if this was extremely helpful, I really am asking for some comments. I definitely want to know what everybody's going through. I want to know what content you'd like to see. I want to know what questions you have, anything that I can cover. I try my hardest to go, oh, you know, that one was something that I struggled with. I'm going to make a video about it to see and make sure that it makes the transition easier for other people. So I don't know what your struggle is. In order for me to know what your struggle is, I'm going to need to know about it. And if you don't want to comment, I do have, you know, email me. Let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. I've got all that on there. My old ass has even started TikTok, and my kids think it's hilarious. I think I'm funny, okay? I think that I have the most creative material on there. I really don't. It's actually really poor quality, but I'm having fun, because that's one of the things that I'm supposed to be doing right now, is having fun. No, I am. I'm having a lot of fun. And that's one thing that I want you to remember throughout your spiritual journey, is to have fun. All right, guys, I think that's all I've got. As always, remember your 3 pillars and remember mine: peace, love, and acceptance. Always have peace in your heart, love yourself and others, and accept yourself and others. All right?